Okay, let's see if third time is the charm. Nope, already losing some packets. It works for a little while and then it sort of drops off. Hello Evil, welcome to the stream. I'm still unsure if I can stream or not. I'm having some packet losses. Same stuff that was happening yesterday. I did get a new ISP. I'm now on Novel, but the problem still persists. I get occasional packet loss, which fucks up with the live stream. Yeah, here we go. Request timeout. Not sure what I can do about this besides complain to the people, to the ISP people, for them to check the network, the system. Yeah, infrastructure is exactly the same. Yeah, exactly. Is this doable? Do you guys actually see anything? Because all I see is flashing red and orange lights telling me that I'm dropping packets. Not sure if this is worth having a session. If this keeps flashing red. But let me know what you guys prefer. I can hear you alright, but the video feed is always cutting. Okay. Guess that's better than nothing. Okay, so let's try to talk a little bit about stuff. So what I did since yesterday, I started sending out invitations for the seminars. Already got a few positive responses. Already got a few negative responses of people who would like to participate but just don't have time before some stuff. So yeah, but most overall, I just sent the message. I'm still waiting for the reply. Still a lot of other emails to send out. But the blurbs itself are already written, so it's a lot easier. I did 2 blurbs, one for the Shader Royale, which I haven't been inviting people yet since I'm still a bit unsure of the format, and I would like to go through it with you guys today if the internet allows us to. And the other one is for the seminars, which I wrote and I already sent. It's a bit hard to read here. I'm going to try to edit this file so you guys can read the whole thing. If you want to read it, it's here. Not sure if I'm not like too low resolution. Maybe this is not readable at all, but well, this is the text I've been sending mostly, and then in the end I add a little extra note, like for example, if it's a person that's famous for handling forklang and stuff like that, I suggest, oh, maybe you should do something about forklang, uh, stuff like that. Center myself a little bit more. So yeah, plan for today. I mean, just mailing these things, it's not very visual, so I probably shouldn't do that on stream. So what I wanted to talk with you guys is actually about this part, the part about Shader Royale, and I will just read what I wrote so you guys don't have to. Different event that we'll be putting together at Inércia this year will be the Shader Royale on October the 2nd. It differs from the standard shader showdown in the following. Multiple contestants start at the same time programming a shader on Bonsomatic, so it's pretty much the standard stuff, just multiple people instead of just two. And contestants are allowed to copy-paste basic boilerplate code, including variable definitions and one-liner matrix handling stuff, and also SDF calculation functions. So any stuff that it's like very short function, or just calculating the signal distance function of a box or of a torus or something like that, you can copy paste that for free. And like defining pi and that kind of stuff, you can copy paste all that part for free, and it will take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes from the usual shader showdown time, which I think is useful because no one enjoys looking at black screens in the beginning of the event. So after that, after 10 minutes of people just coding whatever they want with these new rules, we'll start having random encounters between 2 or 3 contestants randomly defined. So I will have to code a system that will list all the contestants currently active, and it will randomize an encounter as pretending that they met each other, and then people will be able to vote accordingly to those 2 or 3 people that are involved in that encounter itself. There's always the default Bonsomatic scene is not black. Yeah, well, it's the tunnel, so yeah, you are not wrong. I don't think you will get much votes for using that though in the beginning. So yeah, so people vote for those 2 or 3 contestants that were selected, and when that part comes, we'll go to a special screen where you see all of those 2 or 3 people, and we will zoom in on each one of them for like 30 seconds or something like that, talk a little bit about that, and leave the decision up to live voting. We will have to open live voting for that specific time, have like 1-2 minutes as we cycle through the different ones. We probably should like open the voting immediately when the 2-3 contestants are defined or when they are announced. We open the live voting for those then, and then we show each one of them, give a few extra seconds or 1 minute for people to think about a little bit better which one they prefer, or discuss or read the chat or whatever. And then we will close the live voting, and whoever is in the last places will get sacked. The only thing that I added that might make a little sense is that if 2 people or 3 people are tied in votes, all the top ones go to the next phase, which will just, they will be back on the Rumble itself or Royale itself. And after that, we let it pass for 1 more minute, or maybe even take a time to see all the shaders from all the other contestants. Not sure if we will have time for that. We have to simulate and see how long the system takes booting up a different shader. I have to try that thing with different shortcuts and try to open that up, and how hard is it to put it on OBS looking. I think I could even just be showing a black screen, like this black screen without the bar here, and just opening a shortcut and drag the window here. And because the window itself has the name of the player, so you can see that immediately. So that's an idea that might be easier to just navigate instead of having all those fancy screens, because having the fancy screens on OBS and doing the transitions on OBS is usually you require to have everything already loaded up, OBS identifying the correct window for each one. If I can like give a different name to each single shader view, and like if I close it and reopen it and will get still locked properly on OBS, then I can use those fancy transitions. I can prepare some system to select all possible combinations. That might be a lot of work if we have a lot of players. But if it's only 2 or 3, I can easily, in studio mode, I can easily change the 2 or 3 that are being highlighted right now, and keep the hotkeys on the Stream Deck to change between them being full screen or minimized and stuff like that. So that's doable, that's configurable on OBS, but I need to test a few things to see how good it is. Anyways, as I was mentioning, so that's the idea. They do have these clashes every once in a while, and the people who lost the clash get thrown out. I thought also maybe having like a bigger brawl between multiple people, like being on different teams, but then it would be hard to show on screen, because there's a limit to how many shaders you can be running on your machine without the machine breaking up. So I kind of dropped that idea, but it's still in the back of my mind. I don't know if you can execute it or not. Because imagine instead of having just 2 or 3 people and each one is fighting for themselves, we could have, I don't know, 2 versus 3 people randomly thrown together as random teams, and then people would have to vote if they prefer Team A collectively or Team B collectively, and the loser team would all get thrown out. But it might be a bit tough, so I think we'll stick with the 2 to 3 people randomly getting selected. So yeah, and that's it. And I already talked about the tie. If multiple people tie, all of them keep at it. So if there's like a very close match and both players have exactly the same number of votes, both of them get to survive and move on to the next round. And yeah, now so I'll need to code that system and remove the people and randomly select another couple of people. The main struggle might be here to create a live voting thing. We need to check on Woohoo if it's possible to create like maybe a fake compo there just for live voting on each Shader Royale random encounter. Quickly create, well, we can pre-create the name of several compos like round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, whatever, and then just add the names of the contestants immediately there. As we know what they are, we'll have like 1 minute or something like that to do that part. So as they are being announced, they are being added to the compo for live voting. The live voting opens, and then we start showing them on the live stream. So this has to be tested. So I will talk with Alcoma at some point, have him here on the stream, and have a couple of people simulating that kind of thing, and see how we can do this. Is there a time limit for Paulo seminar? It's 90 minutes. What I told the other guys on the blurb for seminars is 90 minutes of a pre-recorded video, and then I really prefer the pre-recorded video for two reasons. The first one, you don't get as many interruptions while you're doing the stuff, and you can still interact with the audience. So if someone on the chat says that he didn't quite understand that, Paolo would also be in the chat and be able to answer immediately that question and sort of explain a little bit better. While the main topic would not get derailed and people would get the additional information that they need. And also at the end of the 90 minutes, we would have the remaining time available for Q&A, and that would be live. So I think that's preferable. And also if you pre-record, you don't have the issues of I'm not sharing my screen properly or my connection just died. I would just have the video here and it would be a lot easier to play. So that's why I prefer the playing the video and then having the person who made the video with the thing to answer any additional questions at the end in a chat format live. How much would the remaining time be? I think about half an hour is acceptable. So like 90 minutes of exposure of the topic and 30 minutes of answering any questions. I mean, if there aren't that many, we can cut it short. If there are a lot, we can run a little bit later. I don't think people really mind that much. People can just tune off if they are tired of that. I mentioned that if he wanted to show a live demo, he could do it in the remaining time. That's also possible. But I mean, you can show a live demo, a recording of a live demo as well. And sharing Discord screens, sharing Discord screens is totally doable. I did that with a few people before. Just need to have the Discord application, desktop application installed. Because that's the only way to have video on Discord right now. It's a beta for the mobile version and for the browser version. But if you have the desktop application, you just need to share your screen, and I see it here, and I can push it into the screen that is being broadcasted. So that's doable. So yeah, if you want to copy paste this blurb and send it to him, or the top one, this one, you can. This is the official text for the invitation for doing a seminar for Inércia at this point. And so yeah, that's the issues they wanted to tag. All right, Paul's on board. Cool. Very nice. Just have to set up a date with him, like whatever day he feels more comfortable with. Because right now everything is open. We didn't have any confirmations. As soon as we start having anything scheduled, I'll start announcing that we will have this live stream with seminar at this hour on this day in particular. Still getting dropped frames. It's annoying me a little bit. I wonder if I can lower the stream settings somehow. I'm doing 720p. That's not that much. I mean, it's significant, but should be able to handle it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about on today's stream. Was the Shader Royale, trying to close down what the format should be. I'm a bit weary if you have like 20 contestants. Let's do some quick math. How long it would take to do the whole thing. So imagine we have 20 contestants. We have to wait. We would have to wait 10 minutes in the beginning. Then we have a round, and I guess the round should take about 3 minutes to happen. And that excludes one. So you multiply 3 minutes by 19, more or less. Can be more if it's a multi-part thing. So let's multiply it by 18. 3 times 18 is 54. So 54 minutes, that's 1 whole hour. I mean, it's not horrible. And I don't think we will have 18 entries anyways. So it will end up being shorter. My main concern was making sure that it would be faster paced from the usual Shader Showdown, in the sense that we wouldn't have to be waiting like 10 minutes to get something more than a black screen. What happens a lot on Shader Showdown is that we talk a lot about what they are working on, but usually you don't have that much to talk when it's still a black screen, because they're just setting up their code. So if we let them copy the basic functions that everybody just has to write, and it's not that hard to memorize anyways, people can start going directly into something visual, and then it will be a lot more interesting to see. And the other aspect that I wanted to make different from the original Shader Showdown is that Shader Showdown is only 25 minutes, and it always feels like they could use more time. It always feels like they could use more time. So in this particular way, either you're lucky and you don't have any early matches, or you have an early match but you survived that one and you keep coding and you keep changing your shader. And there's also another important thing that shows up, which is, will people vote for you the same if you don't keep upgrading your shader? I mean, if you are in 3 battles in a row and you have given up on your shader, I think you'll start getting lesser votes when comparing to people who kept improving their shader into something more interesting. Another idea that I had at some point was to give some sort of theme that would keep slowly evolving. So we would have to start, I don't know, with a tunnel or something like that, because it's the default effect. And then you would have to, put something inside a tunnel and then turn the tunnel into a plane, and then, trying something like that, and then add transparency. But then it would feel like it's guiding the people a bit too much into what they should be coding. So I don't know, I didn't really... It felt like an interesting concept, but at the time it felt like it was too restrictive. And I don't know, if someone doesn't know how to do a specific part, they could suffer a lot. I don't think it's worth the risk. So I think it's better if we just leave it freeform without any theme. I mean, we could also still have a generic theme, like doing something dark and urban, for example. Urbanistic dark, or something very generic that would guide some way for people to vote. Also, if the shader is really fitting the theme or not. But I don't know. I think we're good just keeping it freeform. At least it's the first time that we'll try to do something like a Royale format, so I think it should be fine. For this time. Still no clue if people will really be interested in this or not. We might end up with just, I don't know, 4 or 5 participants, which, well, will still be interesting. It will be a lot easier for the organization team to show every single shader, at least, so that would be a lot easier. But at the same time, I feels like it loses a bit of its grandeur, because the main problem in my head of having this kind of format with a large quantity of people being playing is that you won't be able to show certain shaders for that very long. But if we exclude people one by one on these random encounters that I came up with, you will have to see the shader that is being kicked off. You will be voting on it. So another possible idea would be to have multiple random encounters happening at the same time, but I think that would just be too distracting. It's better if we keep it closed. But it could also be an idea for something in the future, maybe having like a Royale where you have 2 camera teams and have different random encounters happening at multiple times, and different people getting knocked off. but it would be harder to put everything visually on screen. It's already quite hard to put more than 3 shaders showing on screen. I mean, 4 tiles very well, but starts eating up on your GPU, so it's already a bit risky. So yeah, this is what I came up with. Yeah, and it would be kind of a nightmare to vote on. I mean, if we had 2 different streams, people would either be following one stream or the other stream. So, and in that case, they would only vote on one of them, but they would also only be watching on one of them. Yeah, we need just ask for Nvidia to sponsor us an RTX 3090. The Shader Royale of Inércia Demoparty 2020, sponsored by Nvidia RTX 3090. That sounds good to me. I'll ask Fizzer. He works at Nvidia now. He could probably pull some strings and get us one in time. So yeah, I need to talk with Alchema, try to schedule this, and once I sort of believe that this is doable, I think I'm already pretty sure that this is doable technically, but I want to test these things with Alchema. Because if it takes like 1 minute just to open the shader or try to find the shader and stuff like that, it won't work very well. So I rather test it with Alchema and see if it works properly. And if it works decently, then we can start spamming to try to get contestants in. Try to getting them to agree, reserve that date for at least 1 hour of shader coding, apparently. And I mean, shader coding for 1 hour is not that long. People who do live streams shader coding usually do like 2-3 hour sessions of it, so it's not that much at all, and you can keep improving things slowly. So I think it will end up being an interesting concept. But yeah, it depends a lot on how many people will get and how tight we manage to do the different random encounters without being too slow and more boring than actually interesting. So yeah, that's my main concern right now. So it's on top of my to-do list, or it will be in a rather short time, to bother Alchema to help me test these things. And the other parts, announcement flyers, I still need to do one for each compo. Or not compo, but block of compos. Oh, yeah, another idea that I had, I'm not sure if we talked about this yesterday. Yeah, I think we did. Was the have a special wild compo for drone footage capture. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that we talked about it. And then using those videos submitted also for the drone mixed in compo for the music. So I think that will be interesting. People are already a bit interested in that. I already got promised 2 or 3 submissions. So that will be pretty cool. That deserves like a proper announcement flyer of some sort. Yeah, we already talked about it. So, yeah, that's all the things that I wanted to talk today. I guess I will start working on announcing the different compo blocks that we'll have. Do a flyer for each one of them. And then hopefully we'll start getting some replies for the seminars and start scheduling some of that stuff. And I'm hoping, well, I don't expect like half of these people to reply positively, but if you get like 5-6 people, I think it's already a success. So I always aim for the stars, and then if we reach the clouds, it's already a win. So yeah. I think that's it for today. I don't have. It's been a very long day for me. Woke up early. Had to deal with the whole installation of the new ISP stuff. Also, construction work happening at home. Spent a lot of time pinging people on Discord and chatting with them, and dealing with Afonso as well. And also the packet losses here don't really motivate me much for the stream, but I did promise to do it daily, so I'll try to keep that schedule. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and tomorrow I will hopefully have a more proper schedule of things to work on that are a bit more visual. We'll probably do the flyers for the different compos, saying what the compos are, listing all the compos that exist, and the deadlines for submitting stuff. So yeah. The little one is okay. He almost walks, but not quite. He stands up a lot, but still rather crawl his way instead of running around. But yeah, he's doing all right. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you guys for showing up as usual. Evil, I'm still waiting on that jingle from you whenever you have time. And Alien, I'm still waiting for that logo of you, like remixing the effect with the ID on it. So if you guys can do that, that would be awesome. Sometime soon. Doesn't need to be tomorrow, but whenever you have time. The weekend is always a nice opportunity to try to do some stuff. And yeah, that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Bye bye everyone. Take care.